Hello everyone, and welcome to Beyond SEO with Growthack.io, where we look at what really drives growth for brands, from search and content to product data and strategy. We dive into the insights and ideas and conversations that go way beyond SEO. I'm Glenn, and today I am joined by the Growthack team by Kevin and Sarif. Hi guys, how are you?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm really excited to be having this episode today because it's actually in a milestone period where it's Growthack's 5th year anniversary. So it's actually quite exciting. So Kevin, I can imagine that's quite an exciting time.
Yes, an exciting time. It's I'm a person that often doesn't reflect and take everything in. Always just go. So yeah, it's just nice to recognize that 5 years in, a lot of different periods within that 5 year time. And it's just nice to have a team. I think we've got a really great team now. And from where I started, being a solo entrepreneur, consultant, etc., to having a team and seeing how that's benefiting our clients, I think is a huge milestone and a credit to everyone really. And Sarif, you've been there. From the early days when everything was a bit messy. It's still messy, but not as messy as it was before. And then Glenn, you've kind of taken on the vision and believed in what we're doing. So yeah, I think it's good.
Yeah, I always say it's an exciting time period because obviously I'm joining, like what you said, at another point where it's like you're heading into a new journey with Growthack. So yeah, really excited to be part of that journey. And Sarif, I can imagine as well, you starting early and also getting into the Growthack system and everything. That's also something I can imagine is quite exciting for you as well.
Yeah, of course. It has been a long journey for me, especially because this was my first role in marketing. And I have been with Growthack for nearly over 2.5 years. And this was my only job in marketing as well as in SEO specifically. So I started in early 2022 and up until now, I started as an internship. Now I am in a full-time role as a strategist, content. And it's been a journey to see how we have progressed as a team from, as Kevin said, from a solo entrepreneur or solo SEO consultant to a team now, team of expert. We all have different expertise in content, technical, as well as strategy in general. And yeah, it's been a pleasure to be a part of the journey that has been positive over the last couple of years, and I think there's more to come in the future. It's only the beginning for us.
Yeah, you're on your way to becoming an SEO veteran.
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yeah, awesome. So getting into the first question, really. So this first question is inspired by myself, really, in the sense of I wanted the listeners to really understand the Growthack lore and how things started, essentially. Okay. So I suppose, where did the story start? Why did Growthack start? And where did it start?
Where did it start? That's a good question. So 2020 is when we started. And as you know, that was lockdown. I was working full-time as an SEO specialist at Experian. Experian B2B team, where I was leading the SEO initiative. They never had an SEO specific role within that function. So I was the first SEO to join that team. And I was enjoying the job. But as you know, B2B is quite slow-paced, and I was doing side projects, and I always found working with smaller businesses a lot more exciting, a lot more engaging, and you're able to give back a lot more. Seeing a business grow, etc., is a lot more rewarding rather than working in a big corporation. So during that time, I was quite happy doing what I was doing. And before Experian, I was agency side, where I met my business partner. We decided to set up shop. He did the advertising, then I did the SEO for our clients, and we kind of just joined forces and did it part-time. In terms of the name, honestly, we spent like a lot of time just trying to figure out what name we should come up with.
That was the hard part.
Yeah, literally going through like name generators and stuff, and nothing really making sense. And then we just stumbled across Growthack and like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And then we just went for it. Got my nephew to design the logo, the branding, did the website ourselves. I did it like in an evening basically, and we were up and running.
Oh, that's awesome. And during that period, obviously to the 5th year anniversary. Sarif, what was that like for you joining during that midway point before the 5th year anniversary?
Yeah, as I said, I joined in early 2022 as a content marketing intern. I did it for 6 weeks, and in that period of the time, I essentially did everything from designing to writing the content, as well as making some changes to the website, because we had a plan to have like more pages on the website, and of course, I had previous experience with designing website as well as building website on WordPress. So when I looked at the website for Growthack, I was really happy that was built on WordPress, because I think that's the only thing I have learned before I came to actual role and work experience. And after that 6 weeks time, 6 weeks of internship, I was lucky enough that Kevin offered me a part-time role as a junior digital marketing executive. And again, I was doing a bit of everything from SEO side, content side as well, designing side. I think it was good, just not doing SEO in general, because at that time I didn't have much of experience how SEO works in general. People say SEO is basics. It is basics if you know it, but it's hard to master it, and it does depends on business to business. So it might do different strategy for a small business compared to if you work in an enterprise level client. And I was basically looking how Kevin was in a call with clients, because back then Kevin was the only person who was speaking with a client. But I was listening to the call and see how the call went, what sort of concern the client had internally, and what sort of recommendation Kevin was giving to the client for the problem they had, whether it's website, whether it's products, whether it's new rebrand as well, website migration and stuff like that. And during that period, I also learned some basics of how the technical side as well as the content side of SEO works on YouTube primarily, because I never really had LinkedIn when I first started, I think. I think self-learning is one thing that did improve me personally. I think you can't really learn SEO without actually doing the work. And I was lucky enough to work with actual client alongside with Kevin, and I get to learn from the actual real life experience how you used to do things and why you do things. And after a year or some months, I got a promotion as a SEO and content executive. The reason for the promotion was I was doing good work, and Kevin saw the potential in me, and he said, sorry, if you need to get into a bit more strategic role where you will take the ownership of the content and what we do for the client, primarily the content side. Of course, I didn't do content. I did content, but I also looked at other things like how the technical side of the website works, like crawling, migration, and some of the bits that isn't part of content, which also did help me to learn the fundamental of how the website works and how the navigation and how everything works together when it comes to website. And I was a part-time back then. I got another promotion in September. I moved in the full-time role where again I do more of the process.
Congrats again.
Thanks.
Yeah, congrats.
And we looked at the broad topic, whereas I don't really do content writing, or I looked at how best can we improve the process for the client, and how best can we get the results for the client, because sometimes clients come to us and they don't really know what to do with content side. And when I say content, it's mainly for the website. It could be landing page, it could be blog, or it could be sometimes homepage messaging. So I do look at the content and see the gap where the client could look to expand. And most of the content strategy comes from the conversation you have with the client. And another thing with the communication, when I first started in marketing, I didn't really want to talk to clients. I was kind of like introverted, and I also told Kevin, don't put me on a call with a client.
Yeah, one of the first things he said was, I just want to be the background guy. I don't really want to speak to anybody. Yeah. And I said, okay, that's cool. We can put you in a technical role for now. But then I tried to slowly encourage him, and he's taken on more ownership, which is great to see.
Yeah, and speaking of the communication, over the last 2 years, I have managed to speak with some of the most intelligent people in the marketing industry, because we work with some of the leading brands in the UK as well as international. So sometimes I learn from them outside of Growthack just only. The reason I say, because we work with a marketing manager, CMO, and some of the business owners directly. So it's always good to know what they're thinking of the business going forward, what are the thoughts they have, what are the plans they have in terms of the next year, what they want to do, which also does support me to know, okay, this is a thing we need to do from the SEO side, and this is the thing we shouldn't do from SEO side. And sometimes it's good to know from the actual people that works in a business, compared to when I wasn't in a call, Kevin used to just tell me, okay, this is what happened in the call, and this is what we need to do, or what we need to do, but I wasn't really getting the full context of how the whole conversation went. And over the last few months, I have managed to take more ownership with the content, from planning to implementing, as well as improving the content for clients. Again, content is just more than just SEO on social media. Again, as I said, it's not just, we don't really work with social media anymore. We don't work with social media. However, we do work just website, again, as I said, landing pages. The goal with content, again, of course, to drive traffic. However, traffic don't pay the bills for the client. And we also need to think strategically, how best can we improve the commercial value from the content? Because when you work with a client, let's say 3 months or 6 months, client do, towards the end of the month, they will ask, what are the ROI, or what happened from the content? So you have to think really from the top level, from the user perspective as well, because that's another important thing that most content nowadays produce just sake of AI, as well as search engine. And now you probably all know, just feeding the AI. I'm still not too sure, it's probably too early to talk about AI. So I'll probably skip that part as of now. But the goal, again, for my role personally, is take more ownership, as well as improving the process of content, how we do things from start to finish. And again, we have the good thing about Growthack as well. I just want to mention another good thing, which is industry. So we don't work with just one industry, which I'm very glad and very blessed to work with, because I don't want to work with just one industry specifically, because there's not much you can learn. Of course, you can learn so much from one industry, but if you work with a variety of industry like B2B, eCommerce, or SaaS, which I did quite enjoyed working over the last few months, and there's so much to learn from different industry. What people say, like if you like T-shirt marketer, someone who knows just one specific skill, which are good. I'm not against it, but for my personal opinion, I just want to explore everything I can. And also, speaking of industry, SEO does depends.
100%.
Yeah.
It depends.
As we say, you shouldn't say it depends, because you can't really. Because when it comes to like reporting, most of the time, you will see some fluctuation with the traffic, and you may have some hard conversation with client, and you may not have the answer to it. Even if you have the answer, the client may not get the points of what's the reason behind it. So it depends. So
yeah,
again,
100%.
Yeah, 100%.
And I like, one of the key things that I'm picked up on that is, you said before, you can't do SEO just through learning about it. You have to actually do the SEO activities and tasks.
Absolutely.
Not even just in SEO, just in marketing in general.
Yeah.
And that's what I think I was saying to you before, Kevin, like when I was saying, wow, the experience that Sarif is gaining at this age in terms of just learning, not just about SEO, but just marketing in general, how clients communicate, what their needs are. And from there, that gives you more of an understanding as to how you can not just tailor your SEO strategy, but just include your SEO strategy within the wider marketing strategy as well.
Yeah.
So that's 100% useful in terms of like what you're learning from Kevin, and also as well, what obviously as more people come into the team, and also, you know, as we get more clients, you just get more experience as well, because it's something that you have to experience hands-on. So
Definitely. One of the things that most impressed me about Sarif when he did apply initially for the internship was that he already built his own website. So he was already implementing a lot of the, I guess, the SEO know-how. Even though, you can get so far with the basics, but I think a lot of people don't actually take those initial steps. You know, they don't set up their own site. They don't set up a project. He already did some freelance projects as well at a very young age. And, you know, I really don't think Sarif gives himself enough credit because, you know, he came to a new country and just got stuck in, you know, did really well at college, managed to, you know, get an internship, you know, and just took initiative. I think a lot of young people don't actually do that. I've got a few nephews and a niece, and, you know, I keep trying to tell them, you know, you need to get out there, you need to kind of make your opportunities happen for you. No one's going to hand it to you. And I think, you know, Sarif just taking initiative and literally creating his own job, because there was no job for him when he started. But because of the potential that, you know, we saw in him, you know, and the work that he did in that internship to help us improve our website, I thought that was just amazing. So he kind of created his own role within the team, and he's still here after 2-3 years.
Like I said, becoming a veteran.
Yeah, hopefully one day. Yeah, speaking of the career, I never really saw myself growing up becoming a marketer, because I was growing up in Bangladesh. So I was born and raised in Bangladesh, and in my household, you'll only have few career options to choose from, and marketing wasn't on the list. I nowhere to be found. However, when I came to the UK in 2018, in the middle of the year, and towards the end of my GCSE, you know, as most other kids and students out there, they will have to decide what they need to do going forward, whether it's sixth form or college. And funny enough, back then I was basically searching on Google what other career you can do if you're introverted, and I came across like loads of career survey. You can basically take a survey and it will basically propose you some career option they can look into.
That's a good shout. I should have thought of that one.
Yeah, and every time I did check a few other places, and every time it gives them like work in advertising. But then I realized advertising is more like for extrovert, like because you have to speak to the camera, like we're doing now. And however, there's more to it because marketing, you can work, of course, on the camera as well as behind the camera, as well as hybrid. So doing a bit of everything. Then I looked, okay, what's within marketing I can do? Because marketing abroad is so much you can do with marketing, like social media to email to paid media to SEO, and so much more.
Yeah.
And SEO was the only thing that stood out to me, because I thought SEO can just do behind the laptop and everything can be done without even speaking to anybody else. However, as days goes by, I realized SEO is more of the communication you have with the client than the actual doing. Of course, you have to do the work and here and there, but the communication with the clients is one of the important things that you can learn as well as master to get good at SEO.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah, I always think about it like I do football terms. Like, obviously, you can kick a ball, but that's not just one aspect of playing football. You have to be able to pass and also position. Yeah. So it's the same thing with like SEO. You have to think about other factors, obviously like client comms, also reporting, stuff like that. So yeah, it's like what you said. It's kind of caters to different aspects. It's not just like one thing specifically. So.
Yeah, I'd always say SEO is the technical aspect is probably 30, maybe 40% of the job, which sounds insane because we focus so much on the technical aspect of what we do, but it's 70% is communication. If you can't communicate the value of what you're doing, then you're never going to get those technical things implemented. So yeah, I think for every SEO or every marketing professional, even I was attending a networking event yesterday, and one of the ladies there, I think she's a brand manager, and she was saying it's so difficult trying to find SEOs that you can bring into the room, like into the meeting rooms, because the communication skills, just adding value to those kind of meetings, it's so difficult to find somebody who can do a bit of both. And you know, that's why I'm always trying to push, you know, Sarif. I mean, Glenn, you've already got the communication skills.
Oh, thank you.
You got a lot of experience with that. But I think with Sarif, you've always had the communication skills. I think it's more so just the confidence to then communicate. I think that was your major challenge, and now you know you're absolutely flying. So.
Yeah, I'm very glad that Kevin has pushed me to communicate with the clients, because it's one thing you can learn and you can apply to anywhere in life. Because in life you have to communicate, whether it's going to the restaurant, whether it's basically, speaking to a person, or you speaking to your teacher at university, or also speaking of the university, I'm also studying bachelor in marketing at Nottingham Trent University, and that also did help me to broaden my knowledge in marketing in general. However, that's a bit more of a theory, more compared to a practical thing we have been doing in the course. However, that's not to say don't go to university and do marketing. But from my experience, if I could advise anybody who might be hesitant whether to do a marketing degree or not, I would highly recommend you to do it. But that's not to say you don't need to get work experience. You also need to work in actual real life, because without that, you can't really do anything unless, what they say in the swimming metaphor, like if you want to learn how to swim, you actually have to jump in the swimming pool and learn how to swim. But you can always spend more time on how to learn to swim, but that wouldn't help unless you actually do the work.
And just looking at going back to the 5-year journey of Growthack, what would you say you're the most proud of in terms of the 5-year span?
Most proud of? I'd say for sure, I think the most valuable thing in terms of what I do and Growthack and what it is now is the development, the self-development. Myself, as well as you, Sarif, and anybody who joins the team. I think it's just a huge platform for anybody who comes in to create the role that they want. And I think that's the reason why we set up in the first place. That's the reason why Growthack exists, is that, in the corporate environment, I wasn't getting that full experience and that full development that I wanted from a role. So I came in to Growthack creating a role for myself, which is still evolving because now, there's a team involved and more responsibility. And then now, Sarif's come in and he's created his own role and he's been able to develop. So I think that aspect of self-development, I've always been a big, not say advocate, but I've always had a huge interest in self-development. When I, like Sarif, we've not got a similar story, but slightly the same. I came from another country as well, when I was 17 years old, around about his same age. I came to the UK, and you just have very low confidence, I think, when you come into a brand new environment. So that self-development journey has always been a big part of my life. And that's what I've wanted to bring into my professional life. And I think that's what I'm most proud of with Growthack, in that, yes, we do SEO, but it's a lot more than that. Sarif's like driving now, you got a driver's license sorted at a really young age, and you're able to do what you need to do, support your family, etc. I'm able to do what I need to do as well, and support my family. So I think it's a job in itself, right? And that pays the bills. But I think it's just more than that. It's a platform, and like any job is, any organization, it's a platform for the people, and I'm benefiting. Anybody who comes in benefits from what we do, and I think that's what I'm proud of, and that's what we'll continue to do and just maintain.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it must be quite rewarding from your side, like obviously seeing Sarif's progression from when he started to where he is now. Obviously having that platform through Growthack obviously allows whoever comes in to have that opportunity to really, like you said, create their own role and obviously grow within that role. And obviously through growing within Growthack, to use a pun, they obviously help the overall, business as well. So that makes a lot of sense. And just closing down on that section, when looking at Growthack to where it was before and where it is now, what would you say the differences are? I know, Sarif, you can also contribute to this as well because you joined in at the midpoint. But from your guys' perspective, essentially, what would you say the differences are?
I mean, the huge difference, I'm probably only feeling it now, maybe in the past 6 months or so, is that at the beginning, I'm doing everything, right? So I'm doing all the delivery, handling invoicing, everything is being handled by myself, which is crazy. That's just not an efficient way.
Brain would explode.
Yeah, it's just not great. You don't get the full benefit. The client doesn't get the full benefit either. So I think now in the last 6 months, Glenn, you've joined, and I can trust you with a lot of the really technical stuff with clients, and you just kind of handle that. Some of our biggest clients, you're managing them now. quite effectively. So it allows me a bit more breathing room to do things like this.
Glad I can offload the the pressure sometimes.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a lot of pressure, delivering for clients. So I think that aspect, and then you, Sarif, as well, and your delivery, a lot of what you do is very time consuming. So that time has you taking on that time has allowed me to think bigger and think, okay, how can we actually grow this business and work on the business rather than in the business. A lot of people say that. So that's been the major change. I'm allowing myself to do what I need to do to support the team.
Yeah, 100%. And Sarif, yourself, what would you say the differences are from when you started at Growthack to where it is now?
Yeah, when I first started, I wasn't really involved in the client work just because I wasn't really confident enough or knew what I need to do. So I was basically doing marketing for ourselves, Growthack. I mean, not as in marketing, but I was to look at, as I said, content writing. Then looked at how best can we improve our landing pages for conversion. How best can we design or make some tweaks to the website on our website. And you basically used to do the same thing over and over again every single week. There was nothing new I used to do. However, as I progressed into my role within a few months, I started to take on more client work. So now I start to actually look at clients, see what they actually need from us, primarily from content side. Of course, Kevin was looking into like technical and as well as strategic side of SEO, what they need to do. But again, SEO is within SEO, you have more umbrella to it. You have technical side, you have then on page, then backlinks and content and so much more. Kevin used to tell me, okay, sorry, if you need to do this content brief, you need to look at some of the opportunity that client can expand on. However, now, as of now, I basically tell myself, okay, this is what I need to do for the clients. So Kevin still does the comms for clients, like what we need to do as a priority. Then I look at, okay, how best can I do from start to finish? Before, I used to join in the middle of the journey. However, now I do things from the very start and towards the end of the journey. And it taught me a lot of things. Without this, I wouldn't be here where I am today with my current role, and I wouldn't be a good SEO or a decent SEO as of now. So I think, if you want to, I think for me it was like a responsibility in the middle of the career, which did also help me to do more things and look out for more things that we could recommend to client. And yeah, it has been pretty seamless journey for me, especially because Kevin was basically behind me. If I did anything wrong or if I messed anything up, he was the one who to blame for, because client would speak to him. Okay, if anything goes wrong, Kevin is the one. So I didn't have to worry about those things anymore. However, now I'll also have to take the ownership. If anything goes wrong, it's on me, and how best can I resolve before Kevin knows or the client knows. So, which is a really interesting journey to begin with, and it's still in the part of the process.
No, that's awesome. That's a beautiful closing statement there.
Yeah.
Well, that was a nice little way to do the 5-year anniversary episode. Guys, I hope you got a ton of value out of this episode. Be sure to like and follow the podcast, and we shall see you guys in the next episode. See ya.
And if you are an e-commerce or B2B brand that's looking for growth, be sure to get in touch. We've got space just for a few more clients before the end of this year. And we only work with clients that are a great fit for us, and hopefully we're a great fit for you. So yeah, be sure to get in touch and let us know. Thank you.